Hey, so hopefully you've got some cool stuff that you want to commit to GitHub, and I'm going to talk you through that a little bit now. So the first thing that you kind of need to be familiar with is the command line. For GitHub, there are user interfaces that you can use that are more draggy droppy, but I've pretty much played with everything and still prefer to use the command line for this particular task. So you should be familiar with terminal, I guess, before you start doing this Git stuff. I'm going to give you a quick overview of a few commands. This stuff will be applicable to pretty much any job. The first thing I'm going to do is check which directory I'm in, and I do that with pwd, showing me that I'm in my home directory. And I'm going to want to check what stuff is in there. So ls, that stands for list, and it will show me everything that's in my users JuneSpoon directory. And I want to actually go into this Eclipse workspace. So I'm going to do cd, that means change directory. And then I'm not going to be typing this, and I don't really like typing that much. I'm doing tab to do the autocomplete. And now I'm in the Eclipse workspace directory. I can check what's there with ls list again. Alright, so today we're dealing with lesson 2, so I'm going to cd and go in there. By the way, another useful thing to navigate around is you might need this, which is cd ... will bring you up a level. So now I'm back in Eclipse workspace looking at all the lessons. I'm going to go back in here to lesson number 2 and see what stuff. Okay, those are the directories that contain my source code. Alright, so what we did was we used pwd to check the directory that you're in. That will give you the name of it. It's users, JuneSpoon, etc. We used cd ... to go up a level, and then we used cd, change directory, to go into a directory, and ls to check what's in a directory. Those are the basics of working on the command line. The next stuff we're going to do is git. So usually the first thing you want to do when you're here is check git status, and it's going to tell you what's different between what you have on your machine and what is on GitHub. So you have a local version of the code. We actually want it to be up on github.com, and that's what we're going to try and do now. So git status shows me all of the things that I modified while I was working on this lesson. So some are deleted, some are just changed. I'm not going to remember what those were, so I'm actually going to go and ask Git what changed. I'm just going to copy that path because it'll be easier for me in a second, and I'm going to do git diff, which stands for difference. It'll show me the difference between my working copy and the master. Okay, so here it's showing me this is a diff. These things in red have been removed and these things in green have been added. So I can see that's me making the square. I need to know that because I want to give it a good commit comment. So the next thing I do is commit. -m means that a message is going to follow. And in the message, you want to say what you did. It's very useful to have this when you're working with a bunch of other people, so you should make your messages good. Get good at doing it. It's something that will be important in future. Might as well start now. Okay, what did I do to that? Made the robot draw a square. Close that quote and let it know that this is the file we're dealing with. Okay, so that's committed. Actually, I'm going to show you that the file, that intro to robot file, over here on GitHub, it hasn't been changed yet. See, it still looks the same as the old way. This part here, that's the comment that I entered. It's going to show up there 3 hours ago. So it's not gone up to GitHub yet. If I want to push it up there, I got to do git push. And when I refresh my browser, I'll see the new code. And when I go out a little bit, you can see my comment here. If I wanted to check what the difference was, I can see all of the things there. basically you can use this in the future to blame other developers for stuff that they broke. Not really, but yeah, it does help with finger pointing. I might do another one here just because there's kind of a lot going on. Let's see. All right, here, this is one that was added. See, it's in untracked files. That means the NASA countdown is not in my repository. I can verify that by looking in here at exercises. There's no NASA countdown. In this case, I have to do 2 steps, not just the commit. I also have to add the file to Git. So I'll do git add and then paste the file that I'm going to add, and that's done. If I do git status now, see the new file has been added on top. So now I need to commit it. Okay, push, if I can see it. Okay, here it is. This might seem like a lot, but it's really like riding a bike. It becomes automatic pretty quickly. So you're going to want to add your files. You're going to want to commit your files. If you've been experimenting and doing your own things, which I hope you have, then you'll also need to add the file before you commit it. So I'll probably write some notes in here just to make it easier. What the steps are for committing. Okay, so if it's a file that exists already, let me get rid of this. Cut. Okay, if it's a file that exists already, you're going to just do git commit, and then you're going to do git push. Actually, I'm going to add another step, which is navigate to code directory from command line. So that was that stuff that I was doing with the CD and the ls and all that. Then I did a git commit, then I did a git push. If it's a new file, we're going to do 1 commit. No. 1 add. 2 commit. 3 push. These are the git commands. And what I was doing was checking what the diff was. So I'm going to add diff there at the beginning. Okay, so when you're done pushing your stuff to Git, you should be able to do git status, and then it should say that you're up to date. If you have some issues with this, it's your first time, and this is like professional grade stuff, so talk about it in the discussion groups. Hopefully we can all get through it together. All right, good luck.